Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Cilinix Crypto. I hope you're all doing great, and welcome to the channel as well. If you're new, we'll talk altcoins again. We're going to do a full update on altcoins right now. We'll talk about the situation over the last couple of days, which has obviously been incredibly tough and also unexpected by me about altcoins. The last time I covered this was Wednesday morning. Now, I have to say, in my defense, my thoughts on the markets change if the fundamentals change. All right, and obviously Wednesday evening, we had a major fundamentals change, so we'll talk about that. But and that was one of the key reasons that pushed crypto down. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about the current situation technically, and we'll talk about the fundamentals, because obviously fundamentals are what matter most when we're talking about alt season, right? And this is an alt season update, but obviously at this point of time, we are not in an alt season, all right? So get that out of your head. Although, you know, bullish altcoins is always a possibility. So let's talk about that. So what happened Wednesday is obviously the Federal Reserve interest rate decision that was cut by 25 base points, which, yes, is actually bullish, but that's also fully priced in. We already knew that that was going to happen. And because of what was said during the press conference, the probability of another rate cut in December, which was first sitting at 90%, is right now 66.8%, which means that the result of the Federal Reserve interest rate decision was actually bearish. And then the reaction in the general financial markets was actually quite tough, right? If you take a look at this, that's stocks. If you take a look at this, the dollar strength index was rallying. It's still quite high at this point of time. Bond yields started to rally, which is relatively bearish for the markets. And there was also some uncertainty. I mean, the volatility index started to rally as well yesterday over the course of the day, due to uncertainty in some other geopolitical theaters in the world that did not help, but ultimately also about, because of the uncertainty about the monetary policy in the United States, which matters a lot. And then the shutdown is also still going on, which are all fundamentally things that create unrest, and unrest is not great. And then in general, the fundamental situation just changed for the bearish. That is what happened. And then when we're talking specifically about crypto, and I think a lot of you share this sentiment, but to me, it really still seems like crypto, or at least it's the truth, that crypto is underperforming equities. It's underperforming other asset classes. Obviously, we've seen a massive rally by gold over the course of the last 2 months. So it already underperformed gold. But it's also quite severely underperforming equities and stocks. Stocks are doing amazing at this point of time, and Bitcoin very much is not. And what is causing that, it's hard to say. A lot of people are saying that some major funds or market makers collapsed during the 10th of October crash, and they're selling all the assets they can. Maybe that just hurts institutional interest in crypto. Whatever it is, it's the truth. Crypto is underperforming equities at this point of time. However, when we're talking about everything right now, you can see that the dollar strength index is at resistance. You can see that the volatility index is decreasing. So those fundamentals that we had that were quite bearish since Wednesday are starting to become a little bit better. And equities themselves, which Bitcoin and crypto is still very correlated to, have also found support and are also, still in an uptrend. So even though we had a change for the bearish with the fundamentals are recovering well. And then if we talk about the technicals here for the total 3, right? So this is the crypto total market cap, excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum, aka altcoins, you can see that we have been able to hold the bottom of the range since the 10th of October, right? And we got there a couple of times. Now, the situation, like getting a rally back up to this level at $1 trillion and 80 billion, that's a little bit less likely. But I do think based on that recovery with the fundamentals, in combination with some of the price action we've seen over the course of this week for altcoins, I mean, may I remind you that something like BitTensor or something like Virtuals is still holding up incredibly well and is still actually performing very well against stocks as well. Based on that and the technicals finally, I do think it's most likely altcoins have found a bottom right here. And unless we get some major escalation again between China and the United States, aka very bad news, I think we'll be able to secure a bottom here, and I think we'll be able to get some bullish momentum. Now, ultimately, do I think that there's enough reason to suspect that bullish momentum is going to turn into a breakout? No, that is not what I do expect. But I expect some stability here, and stability for altcoins technically means a little bit of bullish momentum from the current prices. So that's what I think. Now, ultimately, I must say that I have opened some altcoin positions in the last 2 days. So I have some skin in the game as well, but that is, I'm not sure if that's relevant, but still, that is true. So those are my thoughts. Thank you for watching, everybody. Take care. I'll see you all in my next videos, and bye.